Hello, welcome back. Now, today's video is a standalone review, and it is a Mastertronic 199 game released in 1987, and it's called Hyperbowl. And it was by Binary Design, one of two sort of futuristic sports games they released in, or they were responsible for in 1987. This and Xeno by A&F Software, which was released as a full price release. Now, Xeno is one of my favourite games of all time. This is not as good as Xeno by a long stretch, but that's not to say it's a bad game at all. Now, I was asked a question on the CoinOps Consoles and Computer Games Facebook group, asking me desperately, could I name this game, because the person who asked couldn't remember. And I'd never heard of Hyperbowl, so I put the question to the Spectrum Forever group, and someone mentioned it, and it turned out it was the correct game. Now I'm going to leave this on the intro bit for us for a very quick bit, just a quick moment, because I love the way this kind of intro screen sort of bleeds in to the main menu, like a sort of firework display thing, and then eventually you get the whole sort of display come up. You can sidestep that if you want. Now, it is a futuristic sports sort of football game based in or set in outer space, where you control an inertia based ship, and you're against another person or the computer, and the goal of it is to push the ball, if it is a ball, down to the opposing end of the screen, and whoever is the first to 9 points wins, or the game times out at 5 minutes. Now, like I said, it's an inertia-based game, and it's very tricky to get the hang of. The controls are Q for the thrust, A to sort of cancel the thrust, S and D to spin left and right, and X to fire the cannon. Now, its similarities with Xeno are that it's quite easy to score own goals, as you will see me do quite spectacularly and frequently in this game. And it also is, there we go, point in question there, and it's also, you know, sort of like fast and sort of frantic, and it's easy to like overshoot the ball, etc. But this plays on a top-down, from a top-down perspective with these kind of vector graphics. Oh, there we go, another own goal. Whereas Xeno is kind of a side-on pseudo 3D. Sort of with a bit of flick screen sort of thing going on, and it's more recognisable as a kind of air hockey stroke football game. Now, Hyperbowl is very difficult to control. I can imagine it being quite a good game in two-player. How did it do when it was released back in 1987? Well, in issue number 37 of Crash, which was February 1987, they gave it 76%, which is not a bad score. And your Sinclair, their March 1987 issue number 15, they gave it 7 out of 10. So yeah, not bad scores there. And for a £2 game. Now, Binary Design games have featured quite a lot in some of the videos that I've done. I've mentioned that Xeno is one of my all-time favourite games, but they also did Glider Rider and Motos, Bosconian, etc. Great games, but let's bear in mind they were only human, and they were also responsible for the execrable Star Wars Droids game, which I have done a slagging off of, sorry, speech marks, review of, way back when, if you want to go and check it out and just see how they sort of did cock up with that one. But generally, Binary Design games, you knew you were getting something very good quality with. Now, the inertia and the physics and the everything on the engine, on showing Hyperbowl, are really good. It just does add a level of frustration at times. If you go thundering into the ball, now you see on the right hand side that red sort of rectangle, that is the pitch, and if you wallop into the ball, I'm going to keep calling it a ball, if you wallop into the ball too hard, the thing can go flying literally miles all the way up the other end, and it can be very difficult to find out or catch up with it. especially as the sort of radar imprints that you get of your ship, the opposing ship, and the ball are made up of tiny yellow dots that are quite hard to see. You really have to sort of squint your eyes to see them. But like I said, you know, Hyperball, I keep calling it Hyperball. There is a game called Hyperball, I'm sure there is. Hyperbowl is really, really, you know, a good fun little sort of blast once you've got the sort of hang of the physics. You know, you can stop the inertia more or less instantly by pressing the A button, and that does help out a lot. I just wish games like Thrust, you know, inertia based games like them had that kind of option. I've said that now, and they probably have. Someone's going to point out, well, you can do that in Thrust, but I didn't know you could do it in Spin Dizzy, but apparently you can. I didn't know that for 30 years, and then someone on Twitter came up with, oh, did you know that if you press so-and-so button, you can stop the gyroscope thing dead, basically. So, if this had come out as a full price game, it would probably not have fared too well, but as it's a £2-quidder, you know, a pocket money special, as I sort of call them, then it's really not an awful lot you can moan about it. You know, 1987 is around about the time where people were starting to not only demand but expect quality from budget software as well. I mean, there are some great, as we know from the Mastertronic video that I did a couple of weeks back, there's some great budget games came out that put a lot of full price games to shame. But anyway, that's my review of Hyperbowl. Check it out, not a bad little game. Weekend has just started. I hope you have a great one. Hope the weather stays fine. If you like the video, please let me know. If you wish to subscribe, please do so. If there's anything you'd like to see me do video wise, then please make your suggestions known even. Okay, that's it. Take care of yourselves. Thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.